display ads. So what is the effectiveness of these campaigns if one were able to measure the sales impact, absent the click? And that's what I'm going to talk about here, the balance of my time. So what we need, I believe, to measure the effectiveness of branding campaigns online, and let's recognize that 3/4 of the money that's spent online today is direct response type advertising. Traditional media, it's the opposite. So I think the challenge is, how do we get these dollars to shift online from the branding bucket, if you will? I suggest that it's a measure of sales response. All of the evidence I've seen across different media says if you can show the advertiser the sales impact of their spending money with a certain format, the dollars will follow. And so what we need is proof that advertising builds sales over time. It's not an immediate response issue, as the click would suggest. So I'm going to show you finally the results of 200 studies that we've conducted here at comScore to measure the impact of search and online when they operate separately and when they operate together. The way that we do that is we take all of the panelists in our database that saw a campaign, whether it was search or display, select a balanced control group of people who didn't see the campaign, balanced demographically and behaviorally, and then look at the differences between the two groups in terms of their online behavior and their retail buying. And I think with that kind of a experimental design, you can pretty much nail the effectiveness of the one variable that distinguishes the groups, which is the exposure to the online campaign. I'm just going to show you the offline sales results. Let me just say that I think we've definitively answered with this study, and I'll be happy to send copies of the paper to anybody who would like to see it. Just grab me later. But we see that display advertising, even without a click, will generate an increase in site visitation, it will generate an increase in trademark search queries, and it will generate sales increases both online and offline. And I want to show you very quickly, in conclusion, the impact for the retailer vertical of online display advertising on retail sales. So this is in the store. So if you read from the right, the display campaign alone will increase sales 16%. Search, no surprise. People are kind of self-selecting themselves to be in the market when they're exposed to a search ad. The lift there, 82%. This is among people who are all exposed to the particular campaign. But if you overlay a display campaign on top of a search campaign, you will get synergy. And I think that the media world understands this pretty well. It certainly happened in more traditional media with this kind of an overlay strategy. Then you get a 119% increase in sales. Now, these are the sales results among the people who were 100% exposed. You now got to adjust the results for the exposure levels for the different campaigns. And when you do that, and read this chart from left to right, on the left is the reach that we typically see for a display campaign versus a search campaign. Not surprisingly, you can force much higher reach with a display campaign than you can with search. Search is, by definition, again, it's self-selecting. You will only reach the people who were searching on a keyword in that particular category. The middle chart shows you the sales results that I had on the lift that I had in the previous chart. So if you multiply basically the numbers on the left by the chart in the middle, you'll get the sales index lift on the right. And when you do that, you'll see that the sales increase for a display-only campaign is actually higher than for a search campaign because you can get a higher reach. But you put the two together and you actually get synergy and an even better result. So I'm hoping, and I think here I would support what Hernan said earlier this morning, that we really need to make sure that we're looking at the right metrics when we're evaluating these particular online campaigns. This is consumer packaged goods. We've run now dozens of these studies for individual brands, and we're seeing results that on average are showing a 36% sales increase, again, among 100% exposed people. We're in the process now of comparing these results back to the sales impact of television as measured through market mix models and thousands of behavior scan tests that have been run over the past decade or so. But I find these results very, very encouraging given the magnitude of the sales increase that we're seeing. And so I hope that as we disseminate these numbers, these data, these results, the data will help drive the allocation of marketers' dollars. So data will lead the way is my expectation. I think that the measurement of sales response is really what's needed. We got to be able to do that online and offline. If we do that, and if we can prove the effectiveness of online, the dollars will follow. And when you couple that with the natural advantage of the internet in terms of lower cost, improved targeting, sight, sound, and motion is coming with video, it seems to me that we're in a position where sales measurement, sales response measurement will undoubtedly help the movement of branded advertising dollars from traditional media to the internet. So thank you very much, and I'm around later if anybody has any questions.